Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be playing a game called What Remains of Edith Finch. This is a game, I think it's like supposed to be like reincarnation or something like that. Alright. Just kind of got thrown in the game. Oh, Finch. R1. Okay.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Okay, that's zoom. Let's also zoom.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Is that half the room? Oh, mailbox. I don't have the mailbox. And unique.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral. In her will, my mother left me a key but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Alright. Let's go down this path. Probably not a pathway, but probably not the way to actually go.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it.
Maybe it is actually the way.
Questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
What happened if we went the
Woods
other way?
around the house have always been uncomfortably silent. As if they're about to say something, but never do.
Triangle opens that. L1, L2 zooms. Oh, basketball hoop.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Pretty big house. I like it.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Oh, wheelchair ramp. So, somebody was in a wheelchair. I don't know if it was a brother or parents or who exactly.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
Well, I'm gonna turn my brightness up a little bit. Alright. That's a little better.
Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Anything in there? I feel like something bigger in there. I feel like predator or a human just like walk past that window right there. But maybe not. Okay. There's another way. Okay, we'll just go to this door.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11. For the first time in years, I felt like I was home. The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
Sure, there's a lot of books.
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house. Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
I wonder what's in there.
My mom
listen.
wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
That door is shuttered and glued. Once again, a lot of books. Pacific Coast Seafood, from Cove to Stove.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
A bug collection. Is that a mouse picture? Sure is. Oh.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara. Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
I can't go that way. Oh.
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
Alright, it's not this way either. Come back downstairs. Let's go back down there for a second. See if there's anything for us to do. Anything. Find the path.
Instead of a family, there were just memories of one. After Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got pretty sick of salmon. Except our cat, Molly. My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
So the grandmother was in the wheelchair, okay. Oh, I
I
missed
spent
this.
a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. Louis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Hey, the key worked. 20,000 leagues. 20,000 leagues under the sea.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan, but I had no idea what was behind that door.
Nope.
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead. I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Molly Finch.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Oh, that's sad. Oh, broke a starfish.
I kept eating and eating.
Ordered.
I ate a lot of things that night.
Are those fake berries? I'm assuming that they are.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Alright.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Oh, the friends in the room. Oh, sure.
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was in a big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
Oh, I see one, I see one. I'll move it back up.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
She's gotta be dreaming. Alright, that's the only explanation.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted
The fish
fat,
go right there.
juicy seeds.
I missed that. Don't scare it, don't scare it. Got it.
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Alright, so the seal is now injured. So it should be a little more easier to get to. Oh, it's bleeding.
Grabbed on tight. When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Oh, it's snake. Looks like it.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was quiet.
Like an octopus.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Or like a squid.
His belly was rusty, his belly was rusty, his belly was rusty.
Passenger, I was still hungry. And to cross the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
I swear, if it comes out of the toilet, oh, that's spooky. I don't know if I like that.
I got closer and closer.
Not through there.
All my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Wait, what?
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Oh, cat.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would
This is the
have,
bedroom.
but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune. And Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johann. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edith, with husband Sven and baby Molly, Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edith is already dreaming of a new Finch house. Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Alright. So, this is a grandmother's room. Oh, shark. Paper shark, I believe.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Oh, picture.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was
That
a
door
pretty
sewed
big
off.
trace. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
You
One
won't
summer,
go.
they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity. Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
My friend Bigfoot, random junk. Try. Edith. Interview. We're in America. The fun. Bunches. Movies.
I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones. Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
I'm missing something. Per se. There's a secret in this bathroom.
There's a secret in this bathroom.
Secret in this bathroom.
It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Oh. Let's go out. I like secret
Sven
rooms.
gave
Why not?
Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Evelyn Finch on April 25th, 1950 something. To September 23, 1961 or 51. Those are either 11 or 1 year. One or the other. What was that? Milton, okay. Fort Calvin. Yeah, Fort Calvin.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. and that he never talked about him.
To command a center.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again, and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
Oh. I feel like the tree branch is
I
going to
told
snap
him
or
going
something.
around was impossible. And maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind.
Oh, getting closer.
That's what I want to remember about my brother.
No, I wonder if you can actually do it. It's definitely after you get so high, you just fall off.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
So 1958 is 1960. So he was 11 when he died.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again. The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
I'll keep going this way, though.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Happy birthday, Barbara. Seattle Starlets. Oh. There it is. There's the journal.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch.
Unfollowed the catches.
As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan, and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback.
It is one of my worst fears to get like caught in a saw and get cut off or something like that.
I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
I just saw the basement door.
Hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him. Right on cue.
And... oh,
She
that's
reached
weird.
for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
The Halloween theme song.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the
Wait
worst.
for it. Okay. A good whack. I get the balls go in the pocket. I'm away. Oh, that was close. Oh, wait, chair. Oh, maybe. Ah, so close. Oh. Come on, go in. Yes, come on. For the table achievement. Alright, let's go. Oh. Bloodstained handprint? That's not good.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled an...
Because that guy has
ago
handcrafted in
tonight.
the handsaw. That honestly made a little bit of sense. That's kind of spooky. In the bag one more time. Try to knock it off. Oh.
Rattled and grew still.
This would be like a raccoon. I swear, where's the raccoon?
Oh
Oh, broken nose.
dear. Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show.
Late picture show.
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Okay. Man, I'm just running the base, to the base. Books. I can knock over the books. Awesome. Ooh, skeleton. No, okay. Alright, let's go. Hey, there's no books on this staircase. Yeah, that might be out. Might not be here. I would have left. There. There, no. Alright. So all of the guys blocked away. So that's definitely. How do I keep missing this door?
Walter.
I feel like it's closed every time I walk by.
Walter vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And there he was. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
How do you get way out of here?
Yes, I just gotta remember. It's here. Oh, right there.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
Her part beautiful. What? Okay. Window.
She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned.
No.
He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Come on, let's go down here and whack him a couple more times. Make sure he is dead. Man, I just want to knock over the books. Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
Had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Is it the boyfriend? Where's the cops? Where's the parents?
Was dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
No. Wait, two?
Here.
Bravo! You were wonderful!
she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
So, Molly, Barbara, Calvin. So it looks like we got Edie, Sam, Walter, Gregory, Gus, Don, Milton, Lewis, maybe Kay, Ingeborg, Sanjay, maybe? No, he's born in 1999. Alright. Okay, so what's gonna get us? This would be like
Now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Is it like with the monster getting us and we're gonna die, or? That's my theory as of right now. Alright. Keep wandering, keep wandering, keep wandering, keep wandering, keep wandering, keep wandering, keep wandering. Alright. There's the basement we go. And I'll show my cursor to wax things. The tall table.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot. I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that. I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone.
Oh, this is a spooky tunnel.
She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Walter, 1952, 2005.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. After a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected
Is
to be
that
dead.
canned peaches?
But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
76. 4 days, I guess.
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly.
Yeah, peaches.
And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years.
March.
I'm done waiting. I have to leave. Well, I still can.
So we go up the stairs or go over here? Yeah, I can't go that way. Okay. Okay. Oh, right there. Oh, we're going down. Really? I thought we were going up. So we're technically above the floor, like above, like below the ground.
I know it's out there, somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin. Maybe
Ooh,
this
sledgehammer.
is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me.
That's kind of cool.
Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one more day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Get by train. What was gonna happen?
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here. I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me. Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Oh, Walter. I guess maybe a landslide? Something?
I don't know if I should even be writing this.
Wait.
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Is this...
But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of. Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Is this the way? They ought to bring me here? Oh, I'm stuck. Oh, I'm stuck. Okay, there we go. Problem fixed. Yes, I guess that's not the way then. Is it gonna end up that we're actually dead? It's like Edith journal.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Therapy, Zoe.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Molly Finch, Calvin Finch. Edie. Edie died 2010. Mr. Finch 2005. 1960. '47, 61, 64, 2010, 2005,
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Is it the old house?
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers.
Finch, Sam
she was
Finch.
just trying to do better.
Yes, Finch. Finch.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along.
The mother passed away.
Someday, and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now,
oh, 7.
If she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
No. Ooh. Ooh, that's spooky.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
Pictures. How's other grandpa?
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
What?
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
Where's she at?
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
To tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Dawn, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph?
Maybe this is a 3 fish over here. 3 fish.
Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip.
Was that, wasn't it?
Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire.
Yeah.
We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time. Give me a minute to check the map.
No, that's not it.
You don't need to waste any more film on me, kiddo.
Huh?
Let's see. Maybe.
Dad!
Good eyes, Don.
Deer.
Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad,
Let me get behind you.
do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Now keep yourself squared up, elbows down, like we practiced. Great shot, Don!
That's just sad.
I'm proud of you, Don.
Third person.
Okay?
Word. Oh, this is trippy.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not
Oh.
to think about...
Oh, still alive. Listen.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
What was that? An attic.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Gregory.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
Divorce contract.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
No, don't let this one be drowning. That's gonna be so sad.
I know you did everything you could.
Okay, good. Glad it wasn't driving.
If I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't really hear this.
No, it is. Has to be.
I wish she could have told us. About the way.
Has to be.
I'm sure he's happy.
No.
And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
So sad. Sad thing is probably like thousands of babies. Does have like that, like diabetes of drowning and
A
whatnot.
poem
Oh,
for
oh,
Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
Oh, I get like words. That's kind of cool.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but
though he'd never met her. We don't need a stepmom, were the words that I
now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
I don't know there's any more words over here.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Oh, okay. Unless that was gonna happen.
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Basically like a Thomas Edison, or not Thomas Edison, but Benjamin Franklin. Lightning and the kite. That's what's about to happen. Oh, words.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry comment. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder." I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't, until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Alright.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Oh, this is how the mother died.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay. Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
Alright. Thorn finch. Out of India. this is not the right way. Maybe it is. Is it? So it looks like there's words that's supposed to show up there. Or maybe not, I guess. Alright. Is this the way? Like, I feel like it is, but I feel like it's not at the same time. Oh, yeah.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later.
Yeah, this is 100% the way now. Alright.
When my dad died,
going upwards.
I don't think Mom knew where else to go.
Dawn,
I'm sure Edie was happy to have her
Milton.
back. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last.
Oh.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Footprints. Milton.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
That's cool. I like how it's a flip book. That's it.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared. Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
year.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Okay, there. Oh, good. Wait, is that the door that he walked into? That's kind of how he disappeared.
Mom didn't want it getting out.
Oh.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself.
Is that a boat? Part of the house?
After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on. Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats and toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. He took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then, daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Louis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Louis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play.
This is kind of cool.
About starting a band.
I mean, not about like the fish part, but.
And he was always humming something.
Going through the village and whatnot.
Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won.
Is that a Mario reference right there?
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on.
That's sad.
In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen.
Oh, that's cool. I like how the colors move with the water.
The queen was on her own quest for sinister serpents. He followed the sound of her.
Kind of like silver harps.
Silver harp.
But no, as a factory worker myself,
led him to a golden
I completely understand like having an imagination to pass time. Because I tell you, it does get pretty boring.
Even then, his logic.
Sitting around for hours and hours on end, day out.
He knew the world was all in his imagination. was so proud of having created it.
There we go.
In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Clocking out of shift, I guess. Out of the factory. Oh, we...
He began to forget the world we know.
Big
I
brown
think it pained
canary.
him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
Can tell those fish have heads on or not. Okay, so they do.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Nope.
I still thought I could save him. Even
So I'm assuming this means like he committed
over all the
suicide.
lands of wonder.
So the suicide is not the answer, guys. It will get better.
The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who had insisted on advising him. His queen waited, holding his crown.
I really like the music. Pretty cool.
There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
That's everybody. So for Edie, looks like maybe Dawn. All right. Man, I'll tell you, this is a sad
On the way
game.
back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
Edith? TH? Is it the grandma's real name? Edith?
But it had to end.
Or they just say Edie?
All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
No, Edith Finch.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
I tell you, this place looks like this. Dirty for years.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
Yeah, door's locked.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Straight to the Finches.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine walking on a beach or whatnot on the seafloor. Yeah, I can imagine like walking real low tide.
For a while, I wondered. I started seeing things.
I am curious, like, what the actual, like, lowest tide there ever has been.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old
bed frame?
friends.
It looks like it.
That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot.
I love doing that right there with my hand in the car.
A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it.
I think that's made out of words.
But she started getting sick a lot.
The dandelion, or whatever it was called.
The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last finch left alive.
Oh, that's so sad.
Until I found out about you.
Oh.
I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes and appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
Oh, are we being born?
This journal was supposed to be for you.
And pushed out.
But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now,
please don't tell me she's dead.
things didn't work out that way.
Man, that was just a kick in my butt.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
I just got added to the family grave. Spirit for Shirley Dallas. Man, what a beautiful game that was. Pretty sad too. Just live life to the fullest because you never know what is gonna happen. You never know when your time's gonna end. I do like the level designs and whatnot, where like you go through one section and just like you don't see the staircase to the side. You just walk right past it, not even think. And then you're going one way, then you go there inside the room, then you turn around and see the staircase and whatnot. I thought that was pretty cool. Nice switches. I got the toys. Cockroach. And replay a story options now available. Select Edith to play from the beginning. Oh, that's kind of cool. Then you like go back, do a story. point, after you like put the game, I feel like it's just so Edith's like death gear. Not because like you did complete the game and everybody knows that she's dead. I think the story that really hits home with me, especially, is Lewis. His story, because like you know, I work in a factory, and it's like it's real boring. So your mind is like wandering, and it's real tiring, and just day in, day out, and the same thing over and over and over for years on years. So if you're ever having like trouble with like mental problem, find help. Talk to somebody. I'm gonna leave this video here. We just had a good time and have a good day.